So I'm doing a landscaping project, and I get interrupted by a very unwelcome guest, Bald-Faced Hornets. Now, my wife and I heard that if the hive is larger than a tennis ball, you're supposed to seek professional wisdom, professional help, professional extraction. But after doing so, they quoted us at, they said the cost could be into the thousands. So we went a different direction. All right, let's get it started. That's us in the window flying the drone. And we don't really know if this is going to work at all. This could fail immediately. I mean, I haven't flown a drone in a while, as you can tell. And this is a really small drone. This is DJI Mavic Mini. This is, I believe, the smallest drone that they sell on the market. So this could all fail right here. All right, first strike didn't go down. Looks like it's on. We noticed that the drone view is almost unusable. It moves around so much. We got all this blood and guts that get on it. And also, we're doing a lot of side strikes. So we're often not looking at what we're hitting. So really flying from the window is the only way that we can see what we're doing. And we had to really kneel down in like a corner of it. This strike really sends them into war mode. If you look at them, they're pouring out at this point. We don't know how many are in there, but we heard it can be as many as a couple thousand, anywhere from 500 to a few thousand. We have no idea, but that set them off. See the drone at the top putting in work. At this point, we're starting to get confident in the drone's ability to handle this job. On the other hand, our ability to fly it well still leaves a bit to be desired. From our angle, it's almost completely covered in trees, so we're still struggling to sort of fly blind here. What we are learning, though, is the absolute devastation and carnage of hits from the bottom. It seems the best way is just to sort of move up and shave rather than punch. And now here's a shot of us doing the exact opposite of that. Now we were freaking out, not only because of the crash, but because we have to go out there and turn this thing right side up, okay? We've got to put on like 47 layers of clothing and hope for the best because we don't have bee suits. Making matters worse, now we have an unknown malfunction, so we have to run out again, bring it back in, and start troubleshooting. All right, we're back in the air somehow. We're feeling good, we're confident, and we're ready to do some damage. We're starting off with what we know works. We're sort of trimming away at the bottom, and we're just weed whacking this thing, right? We're coming in slow, strong, steady, and we're trying not to get overconfident. And now they're pissed. They are swarming out of there. Now, we actually thought this was either going to be a catastrophic failure from the jump or a relatively quick success. What we did not expect was it to take this long. And so now we're actually losing light. So we're trying to do it as quickly as possible, but still not have another crash. Just like a sawmill up there with all the debris flying down. We actually had to warn the neighbors. We were like, hey, if you're having any dinner parties or anything, let us know because it's going to get crazy out here. I don't know what goes through a hornet's mind, but they've got to be demoralized at this point if they have the capacity to feel such a thing, because they are just getting vaporized by these blades. Doesn't seem like the ball's in their court right now, and we're just launching devastating attacks from below. In our desire to get this done before nightfall, we wanted to try to make a quick move out of this, and we noticed that it was hanging from a relatively thin branch. So we tried to attack from the top rather than sticking with what works, and we paid dearly for it. Now not only do we have to fight at night, we have to find a missing piece that came off of the drone in a crash in the middle of the dark with a bunch of angry hornets, and then we have to put it back together again. Got it. And now we're back in the fight. Now, besides it being nighttime, another major difference with this flight is this is the first time that we are outside while flying the drone. We are not flying from inside the window. The view wasn't great. We've killed a lot of hornets up to this point. And we also read online, I don't know if it's true or not, we read online that they are attracted to light. So putting a Godex VL300 light up on the nest, we figured, hey, if they're going to go for something, they're going to go for this light, or they're going to go for this maxilla just ripping through their existence. So now, out here on the stoop, we're warmed up, we're determined, and we are in full view to just mercilessly attack this thing from the bottom over and over and over and over again. In retrospect, these sort of up and down attacks are probably what we should have been doing 100% of the time. Hindsight's 20/20, but if you have the view and you're trying to do this, I would just come up from the bottom most of the time. You're not going to destabilize your drone. You're not going to have multiple crashes. Just controlled hits from the bottom. At a certain point, we had to decide when to go in for the kill. So what we had been doing is great, but at a certain point, you got to swoop in, probably from the top. It seemed, unfortunately, that the top was more resistant or more durable. I don't know if that's an architectural thing. For whatever reason, it was more difficult, and we once again did the thing that always causes us to fail. We came in from the top. Now, for the third time in a row, the drone took it like a champ. Fell, it was totally functional, but actually we decided to deploy a different method to put the final nail in the coffin. We actually had a plan B involving photo backdrop equipment where we would take a piece of it, make a long pole, put a lasso made of zip ties on the end, and if we had bee suits available to us, we would simply just go out, wrap the top around the hive, and yank it down, and then maybe roll it into some gasoline and set it on fire. Although we didn't go with this plan, we still built the pole, so we decided to deploy it and save the drone one last flight, because it already put in its work and proved its worth. So we're going to use this pole to tug down the hive, and get it within range where we can permanently destroy it. And now that it's finally on the ground, we can apply a little bit of Nature's Raid and put this nest to rest. All right, final wrap up here. Definitely coming in not on top. Bald-Faced Hornets. Big loss for them. Bad day. On the flip side, the Mavic Mini, the underdog, the surprise, honestly, coming in at 249 grams, pound for pound champion here. He got crashed, he got dirty, but he didn't get broken. And now we'll just go back to whatever we were doing before this.